Hey guys, it is Wednesday, week 3 of my furlough. Things are going pretty well. I do have one funny story, and I don't know why I thought this was so funny, but I called a friend of mine yesterday who had heard that I had been laid off, but I hadn't talked to him for a while. When we were having conversation, I said something to him about, hey, I've been laid off temporarily, and he goes, oh yeah, how's that working? And for whatever reason, I thought that was funny because actually it's not working at all. That's the point. I just thought that was funny. Okay, so a quick update of what I was doing this week. On Monday, I photographed a cake topper, a wedding cake topper that I have of a bride and a groom. And I did that here in the studio. I put little surgical masks on both of them and uploaded 2 versions to the stock agencies. The cool thing is it's only Wednesday and I've already had 1 sale on those images. And, hopefully it'll be a concept that'll generate some sales. Not sure that it's something that'll generate sales for years and years to come, but it's certainly timely. Today, I want to go back to kind of what I've been doing the last couple of videos in coming up with some of these old sketches that I did and recreating some shots. However, today's shot that I want to do is one that I drew up as an idea, but I never did it. So I'll show you what I want to do. It's a C-clamp. It's kind of drew it as a C-clamp. I've got a coin in there. It's kind of a crunching money, crunching the budget kind of theme or concept. Some of my notes on here, a gel burst on the background. Late 80s, early 90s, every image had a gel. It's crazy. It's like it wasn't finished until we threw some kind of colored gel on the background. I have a gel burst on the background, blue or red, with a yellow rim light on the subject. So I'm even got planned out to put a gel as an accent light. I'm going to do that today. I'm going to shoot it like I would have back in the early 90s, but I'm also going to do kind of a more modern version without the gels because the gels are just not as trendy as it once was. That's what we're planning to do today. Okay guys, here's my little setup. Subject matter, right there obviously. C-clamp. I got a little A-clamp holding that in place because it wants to topple, and probably have to do some Photoshop work to get that out of there. Camera behind me, 105mm lens. Softbox overhead, black seamless. I've got 1 light right here with a grid. It's got the yellow gel on it. 1 light on the floor over there that's got the blue gel. Okay, so blue gel is just taped to the light on the floor. Okay, and then I've got the yellow gel taped to the front of the grid here, shining towards my subject. Camera back over there. Okay, I'm 100 ISO, f9. Here we go. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Let's put some kind of coin in there and we'll take a final shot. Okay, I made a slight adjustment. As you can see, there is no longer a mirror right here. I put a big white card. And remember how a couple of videos ago I talked about how lighting product is not about shining light on a subject as much as it is reflecting a light source in the surface of the subject. And putting that white card out there lit up the front of that clamp a whole lot better than the mirror was doing. And it also accentuated the yellow accent light. And I'll show you the 2 differences right here. But you can see the yellow a whole lot more, as well as the front of that clamp lit up better. Now, one thing I'm going to do before I change the gels to get out of the 80s and into the 2000s, I'm going to take the clamp out of there, take 1 shot with just the blue background. I think that's going to help me with the Photoshop blending when I try to take that little orange clamp out of there for the final version. Okay, for a more modern version, I'm going to take these gels off. The other thing I think I'm going to do with these 2 lights is I'm going to swap the grid hitting the subject and the background light. I'm going to switch them. So I'm going to have the grid so I have a tighter circle on the background. I think that might be a little more, hopefully a little more interesting, give it a little bit better depth. The initial shot, I think the glow in the background needs to be arranged a little bit better, and the accent light is now super hot. Without that grid on there, the exposure just went way up. So we'll dial that back and we'll fix the positioning of that background circle. All right, guys, well, here's the first one, and you can see kind of the gradually changing where that circle goes. I think somewhere between there and there is where I want to be. But I think as far as exposure and stuff, I think I've pretty much got it. Yeah, overall, I'm liking it. I think I got to get that glow a little bit better on the background. It might be a smidgen hot, too. We might bring that back down. So I turned the background light down a stop. I repositioned it just a little bit. Everything else is the same. I'm thinking I like what I'm seeing. And then I will do one shot with the clamp out of there for the sake of having a clean background, for the sake of Photoshop, retouching that orange clamp out of there. And I think I will have my images finished and we can move on to the next stage of processing these. There you have it. Simple shoot today. 2 versions. Again, I had a lot of fun recreating something that I had planned out years and years ago. I hadn't shot it as of yet, but kind of created what I thought was on paper. It was my vision back then. And then did a little spin on it to be a little more modern looking. And yeah, that was kind of fun. Let me know if you like these kinds of things. I have one more that I think I might do. It's an image that I took for my portfolio when I was in college. I will give you a little sneak peek of it right here. It is a food shot, so there's a whole lot more involved when it comes to food photography, but it was a neat image back in those days. I always thought it could be even better than it was, and we may or may not do that one. Let me know if you think I should do it. I'm putting it out there, so maybe I'm forcing myself to do it. Little self-motivation. But as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe for sure. I appreciate all the people that have subscribed recently because I've gained a few more subscribers. And this time they weren't my mom. They were people I don't know, so I appreciate it. As always, thanks, guys. Have a great day. Stay safe, and I will see you very soon.